I watch a ton of YouTube videos about guitars and lutherie, and in the middle of restringing my guitar right now and figured I'd give it a whirl myself. So here's the Epiphone Hummingbird Pro I got a little while ago, and got 3 of the strings off right now. Let's see what other kind of trouble I can get into. Okay, all the strings are off. Fretboard might need a little cleaning up. The bridge pins, some of them were in there a little tight. It's probably because I like mashed them in there really tight last time I restrung it. And yeah, actually, I got a replacement nut that I'm gonna venture towards replacing, fingers crossed. I got the truss rod cover off, hanging out over there. I tried getting the nut off, scoring it a little bit with the X-Acto knife, kind of working in around the edges here a little bit. Didn't really have any tools to knock the nut off, so I was trying to use this guy that I have to wedge against there and knock it, protecting it with my hand here a little bit. It wouldn't come off, so I was going to replace it with this tusk nut, which is supposed to be the right size, because I felt it was kind of binding up a little bit. So I did the old pencil trick, lead pencil trick. So I think I'm gonna put the truss rod cover back on and clean things up a little bit and get the strings back on. The fretboard's been polished a little bit. Looks a little nicer, looks a little more saturated. The bridge did that too, was able to get the saddle out, polished it up, slapped it back in. I was going to try to replace the saddle too, but I couldn't find the right size. Used the old Dunlop 65 lemon oil, smells pretty good. That's it. And also, because I'm a little neurotic, I took the bridge pins out in order of the strings and the thickness and the gauge on the strings, so that I can replace them back into the same slot, into the same spot. Truss rod cover back on, cleaned up the headstock a little bit. It looks like there's a little speck of dust. It's like really nothing. See ya. And was gonna clean up the whole body a little bit with the guitar polish. And just wiped it down a little bit. Looks a little bit better. Not quite as good as my Comforter though. Choice of strings today, the Martin Retro Acoustic Light 12s. I think that's what I had on there before. A friend of mine was suggesting Elixirs. That could be the next choice. So I just got to go through the wonderful YouTube video verification process, which I wasn't expecting. But I got the other 3 strings on. The strange part for me is that I'm like more comfortable doing 6 on a side, tuners, changing strings as opposed to 3 on a side. So what I usually do is I'll do, the E, A, D, then just go G, B, E. But this time I decided to go E, A, D, and then come up on the high E and work my way back that way. It seemed a little bit easier for me to manage, but I had to flip the guitar around that way because I'm right-handed. I would probably be a nightmare in a guitar repair shop, or if I was restringing guitars professionally, kind of the way I'm doing it. Start on the low E, wrap it. That's kind of how I do my wraps. Noodle around with the bridge pins if they need to. Tune that up to pitch. Do the same for the next string. Do the same for the next string. And like right now, I'm probably 20 minutes into this, and I got 3 strings on. I would be a nightmare in a guitar shop. So the next part of the process for me was, stretch. So I'm just going to maybe slide your hand up and down a little bit. Easy stretch. Tune. stretch, stretch, tune, lather, rinse, repeat. Doing that in the playing position because I think it'll just tune more accurately. So I did that a bunch of times. I think I was gonna polish some frets, but kind of too late for that. We'll give her a couple strums and see how it sounds. Probably better. So does sound a whole lot better. Maybe I'll play it a little bit more. So that's stringing a guitar Dave style, because the world needs one more 60-year-old dude on YouTube changing his guitar strings. Later.